I'm Anthony Hudson.
I'm Felix Furby.
And welcome to Transgressors at Chachalu Museum. We started this project a couple years ago exploring the history of our ancestor Shimkhin. And I think we started doing this because we were looking for examples of people like ourselves in our own culture.
Yeah, I really wanted something to go into Chachalu, partially because I wanted for myself and people like me to see ourselves reflected in our own histories.
In this show, we focus on also celebrating the personhood of the artists themselves. We weren't interested in just putting typical museum plaques on a wall. We wanted to depict the artworks and the artists that make them and help tell their stories as well, to help people understand that these aren't just cultural relics, they aren't just art pieces or craft that comes from a culture and has no value except in a gallery wall or a museum. These are living, breathing examples of people's lives and culture and personhood.
There are a lot of ways in which our lives are compartmentalized into different categories. Indigenous here, Two-Spirit there, ancestral things being in the past, and the future and history and the present is never talked about in a way that is connected and fluid, that we're a part of it, and that we're a continuation of the same people and the same cultures as our ancestors. Our connection is always diminished and questioned and pushed further back into the past. Also, Transgressors, we have a show with art and history. In Shimkhin, we had art and history. We couldn't have told this history without art. And so people want to know what kind of show this is. Art, history, yes.
It's the future. We're trying to use a vision of the past and trying to celebrate a vision of the past to show what the future could be like and how it could be safer and more just for all of us. Mm-hmm. This isn't just for queer or trans or Two-Spirit or Indigiqueer people. This work is for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of us as a whole, not necessarily needing to talk about just one category or another. We think about our community. We want to think about our communities in a more holistic way. We want to think about our identities in a more whole and integrated way, our connection to our past and our hopes for the future in a more whole and integrated way. You know, and it's not Indigenous here and queer here. Indigiqueer, a cultural identity, a community identity, an identity that, you know, has to do with our communities today, our present day, our past, our future, and everywhere we go, we are the same whole person.
The show presents a mixture of artists across nations, across genders, across sexualities, across media and form. We have all the way from Jeffrey Gibson, who is the United States' first solo artist, native artist, to exhibit in the Venice Biennale, all the way to Steph Littlebird from Grand Ronde, who helped design this entire show and helped bring back our ancestors, Shimkhin and White Cindy, as icons through her work.
And talk about needing art and artists to help tell these stories. When we were first talking about the exhibit for Shimkhin, I was like, I don't really have any pictures of a lot of text. And we turned the text into sort of pictures, into visual displays, and put them up on the wall. But I was like, this is just gonna look like a textbook, literally like a giant, a giant textbook someone's fallen into. And, you know, you and I were talking, and both of us, I think, came to the idea at the same time, like, we should talk to Steph.
Yeah, who better than our own Grand Ronde Chinook cousin, who is also a fierce art star. Rowan Morigo's piece here, Rowan took their ace bandage from top surgery and they beaded it like a dance belt. And I think for me this really speaks to what we're trying to get to with this whole show, that transness, queerness is under such attack right now. Native people and our sovereignty, it's all under attack. And this is one way of showing that transness and queerness are not criminal identities, they are cultural ones. And that this work is traditional to us. This work is part of our culture. This work needs to be protected and respected and celebrated. And And it will only, to continue to do that, to continue to protect this work and these people, will only make for better and safer cultures for everyone.
We have been under attack. Not just currently politically, we're always under attack because who we are, these category steppers, these category crossers.
Transgressors.
Transgressors only because rules were placed on us. Rules from outside of here, from someone else's ideas, were placed on us. We're only transgressors because of the framing of that system, of those rules. And us being who we are and not aligning ourselves with that system is something that is very destabilizing to that system. And I say good.
The title of the show, Transgressors 2, is kind of a joke. Because really there's, we come into this with this idea that we're transgressive, that we are living transgressive lives with our identities. The joke is that we're just people, just like everybody else, and there's actually nothing transgressive or shocking in this show, except that we're human and we're arguing that we're human and that we deserve love and respect. Yeah, Shimkhin was misremembered in history and miscontextualized by academia, and I think it took two queer Grand Ronde people to recognize her for who she is, and that's where a lot of this work started. And down the line, a big takeaway that we hope the audience gets from this show, beyond all the reasons we've done it, is that this is work that they can do too. That there are ancestors waiting to be found. There are queer histories waiting to be shared and celebrated and revitalized. And there are future ancestors and queer elders alive now that really need the love and support that they've always deserved. So we hope you get to take some of that with you if you experience Transgressors. Mm-hmm. Transgressors opens next at the Museum of Natural and Cultural History of U of O on May 15th, and it will continue to tour Oregon homelands through 2026. We have a catalog coming out that will collect this work and the work from our previous show, My Father's Father's Sister, Our Ancestor Shimkhin. And that will be available on the tour and through various methods online as well. For more information about Transgressors on Tour, visit chachalu.org/exhibits.